Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Test scenario 1, 2, 3. All right, welcome you all once again to this live session. In this case, is on our sixth session. We're going live with Canon, right? This is titled Talk, Don't Code in reference to the powerful nature of Canon that allows you to create prediction markets using natural language, right? You don't have to have a previous knowledge of prediction markets per se. Of course, you have to do your own research, right? If you're going to get into this topic, you don't have to have previous knowledge of coding and not even previous knowledge of AI, right? Since we are using AI to assist every step of the process in the build of the automations. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. We welcome everybody, and today we're going to have a very special session because we're bringing up some updates, right? So we're going to be running like the change log that we have had recently, and also we're going to be running one automation completely live, checking out new strategies that we have. All right. So prior to that, let me give you some context. I'd really love to always have a summary of what have been done in the past and what is actually taking action, taking place right now, and what is planned for the future. So we have on YouTube, right, and we are going to be adding in the description down below the five episodes workshop, right? Those are very detailed in the sense that they go into one specific topic on each session. And that includes session number one, going over the hackathon, what it is about the hackathon, why we chose the MBA topic, and all the relevant dates from the registration opening all the way to registration closing, and at the end, the competition ending period, right? That is different from the registration period. Okay, and aside from that, we also went over what is in essence, like in description, what is Canon, right? That was included in the first episode. Um, then we had the second episode, which was how to install Canon, how to get it running on your system, and it's very simple in the sense that we're using a single install command, and the agent is going to take care of the installation process for you. But we went over the modules, everything that is included in Canon for you to know what is being pull into your system, right? So you have to know what you're getting installed if you want to, right? Of course, if you don't, you just simply run the single install command, and the agent of your selection is going to do the installation process. Then we had the session number 3, which was running or creating the first automation. That time we used Canon, created the first automation, and run it on the local system, right? Then we had session number 4 was more about customizing it, because when you create an automation from a template that is going to be carrying some of the default values, right? Of course, we have to provide some default values. So it's about what do you configure in a strategy. Do I configure time? Do I configure risk? Do I configure data source? And all the different pieces that there might be in order for you to configure and run an automation. Then we had our fifth session. In that one, we went over a mostly like what comes up as questions, right? Like frequently asked questions, and yeah, basically clearing out some of the basic stuff and some of our more complex stuff, but was like a session to clarify um, details that might not have been clearly defined in the previous one. And yeah, that was the 5 episode series, right? Of course, that's not the end of it, but that was very structured for a newcomer to be able to go from zero to having an automation and customizing it. So that is really, really yeah, focused, as I said, very detailed, and that is available in YouTube. Um, Now we're going to be going a bit more condensed, talking multiple topics in a single session, but that's because we already have the basis to work faster, right? So now we can go and jump in between multiple topics because we already have context of what is going on. And yeah, all right. So let's get moving to the topics of the current session. And near the end of this session, we're going to have a view of what's coming on the next week, next session we're going to have. All right. So yeah. So what is Canon? I already gave a quick summary, but it's in a one line sentence because this is really relevant for us to capture the idea. Canon is an open source or free tool for prediction market automation. So you can build them in natural language. You have a description, an idea, natural language. Canon is going to build it, and it is capable of running on real prediction markets. Okay, so today we're going to be focusing on updates that we have on the Canon. Um, yeah, on the Canon app, right? On the Canon TUI. Then we're going to check some new strategies. What is fork ready? What is still work in progress? And we're going to build right now, right here, a working automation. Okay, first updates. What have we landed after the workshop series, right? Okay, first we have login. This is an increased visibility, a better visibility of what the automation is doing, right? So this includes reorganizing the logs, removing complex or technical jargon, right? So we're using once again more natural language, easier to understand, and it is also rearranging the layout of the entire state of the automation. And yeah, so we have like a rework visually and semantics of the login panel, right? So we're going to be able to get easier information to understand from the login. This does include something that is not only focused on the prediction market, right? Because Canon, in the end, is a tool for an AI agent. So we are working on multiple benefits on the login side of it, right? Because we can run plans on it, we can run automated software development on it, and in that sense, we have what is called a plan, right? So when you have a plan, you have multiple steps, you have progress, and this login is also improving on that features, right? So when we're running a plan, we get a different view, which is not the state view, it's the plan view, plan execution view. In that one, we're getting, as I said, better visibility, name of the plan that we're actually working, how many items do we have in said plan, what is the progress bar, because we have a dynamic visually progress bar. And yeah, so improvements are not only focused on the specific for the states or the automation execution. 1 second. All right, we have increased and included. We have included versioning in the DEGA core, which is the foundation, and also in Canon, right? So that not only allow us to know what version we're running in comparison to, let's say, one of these workshop, or a team member, someone else that is running successfully or having issues, is going to allow us to know what version we're working with, and if we have to update or if we need to get the latest from a new installation or an update request, right? All right, so what do we have right now? Is, for example, you can agentically request Core to give you the version number, and you can also request it to Canon, right? That also includes the update request, in the sense that you can agentically request to the agent, hey, let's try to replicate it here. Let me see if I can share it for you. I have here the new project that we're going to be working with, and if I do Core, you can see that now we have Core update. I'm not going to run it now because we are on an agenda, right? So I don't want to get into different stuff, but yeah, we have updates, and you can request it, like update DEGA core, and that's going to include the update for both for DEGA core, and it's going to subsequently do the update for Canon. You can also go into specifics like commands, but for example, Canon update. If we go once again back to the terminal, right? We can do Canon version. This is going to give us the current version, and we can similarly do Canon update, and that's going to update the executable, right? There are some other stuff there, like verify the update, check the update, right? We don't need to get into details because we are more focused on agentic mechanisms. So yeah, you can use your natural language, and your agent is going to update the core, and it's going to update Canon as well. All right. And yeah, we might, I mean, we have some options there, right? Some options to play around, but we don't want to do like force update and all of that, because that does depend. If you have a working setup, we don't want to hijack the boot process into an auto update, because that could break the setup, right? So that's why it is an update request. In case you have everything working, you're fine with it, right? You're good to go. There's no need to update in that sense, but yeah, you can update in terms of getting new features. All right. So what else do we have? Yeah, we have an improved agent view control, right? Because you know that Canon is in control of the agent is in control of the Canon terminal interface, right? So there is an improved navigation and also control of the agent, um, control of the view for the agent, right? So that's going to include, as I said, when running automations, we know it loads the status, the state of the automation in the build, and we also get it now for, as I said, software development. If you do run a plan, that's going to auto pop up the plan view, and yeah, basically like an improved sense and control of the view for the agent. That also includes some manual navigations. As I said, when we have a plan that's going to do the execution, and then we get a link to the PR view, and we also get like a close option for the panel, and usabilities improvements as well. For example, when you're writing, let's once again use the cloud example here. When you are when you're providing input to the agent, right? You can say hello, and if you want to enter a new line, in my case, I'm doing option enter, right? This is a new line. Once again, option enter, example, and then let's do just reply hello Alberto. When I want to broadcast the message to my agent, I do just enter, right? So if I want to continue inputting, we're doing um, option enter, and if we want to broadcast, we do enter, right? So something similar here in terms of controls, we have done in we have done that in Canon, right? So we have the same ability, right? Because that was not loaded, not properly handled before, and um, now it is an option there to work in that way. Okay, now let's talk about the new strategy template. Right now, this is the way that we are extending, and this is because um, we have the templates, but we are slowly releasing them or placing them in the live section of it, because of course we're like doing iteration on it and making sure that they are going to be that they're like good to go in terms of the automation, the unit tests, everything is running, and yeah, so that's why we currently have three live and three are work in progress, which are most likely going to be ready by this weekend, probably on Monday at the latest. They're going to be ready. Okay, hello, Rishi review. In this case, just let me go back to this very simple explanation, right? So we're talking about Canon. So what is Canon? Once again, this is going to be a quick one for Rishi here. It's a free tool. This is open source for building prediction market automation, and we're using natural language. So you can install Canon in a single command, right? And from there, you can build prediction market automations with natural language and based on a couple templates, so you can get a head start, uh, and then you can customize your predictions, risk, um, the scanning periods, all the details for your predictions, and that is going to be work by Canon, and you're just using natural language. And this is, for example, right now we're connecting to Polymarket, the prediction market on Polygon. And there is a full series for this on the DEGA channel. You can go take a look there. It's a 5 session workshops going from zero to running, customizing, and automation. Thank you very much for your question, Richie. All right. So going back to the templates, we have three completely live and three which are work in progress, going to be ready soon. And they are, of course, templates, as I said, so you get a head start and then you do your own customizations. The ones that are available right now are, for example, the binary arbitration. This is in case of a yes and no market, right? As an example, is a given person going to win the elections in a given country, right? We saw this example for the Donald Trump elections, right? On Polymarket. It was one of the markets that is a yes or no binary example. And what this strategy just does is it is constantly monitoring the prices of yes and no, and when the sum of them both is under $1, there is a gap, and that is your opportunity, right? So it's going to pick up the markets, and it's going to be reading value of yes and no options, and if yes plus no, let's say, is equal to 99 cents, then you get 1 cent of opportunity per dollar um, investor, right? So that is the strategy. Remember, we're talking about a strategy here. Yeah, we're talking once again. Another question. If we're talking about what kind of prediction, what kind of trading, right? So Polymarket does allow for multiple kind of markets, not only binary. Binary is the first example we're talking about, but from there you can go, for example, into the template number two, which is basically the same as the binary option, but there's more than one option, right? For example, in this case that we're doing the hackathon for the NBA playoff, um, that's going to be, if we have multiple teams, right? Who's going to win the championship? In that case, you don't have a binary because it's not a yes or no question, right? This is a complex or multiple options result, and that does allow us to work with the template number two, right, which is the the multi-outcome markets, right? But just to complement your question, Rishi, here is that there are many questions on Polymarket. You can go from, as I said, binary to multi-outcome options to politics, sports, um, crypto, right? So there is many markets. There are many topics and many different type of predictions that you can do, right? So that is the availability of markets in Polymarket. All right, going to the third one that we have available right now is the momentum. In this case, momentum is mostly math, right? So it is doing math. It is analyzing the trend of the market. In Of course, this is all configurable, right? So you have to put in the configuration, the risk, and when do you think it's a good option, when do you think it's a good option to go into the opportunity, and when do you think you have made enough to pull back, or if you want to hold it, let's call it for a long run and get out with more income, that is momentum. But I want to say momentum is math. It's not about news, and it does benefit from speed, right? Because if you have the most recent information, you can do better decisions. But it's math based, and it's going to be analyzing the market itself. It's not doing a cross reference. Let's call it. It's not doing a let's say if the oil goes up, then we have some other value going up as well. It's not that kind of momentum. It's a momentum of the same market, right? So I've been studying, let's say, the strategy has been reading the value for said 2 hours, right? So the 2 hour momentum is going this way. So that is the opportunity that is going to take, and it does allow for different directions, right? You can buy the yes or you can buy the no in cases of binary, and it's not only for a. What I mean is that it's not only for a going up situation. You can also benefit from going down, right? Because there is, as I said, um, as a bare minimum, you are making a decision. So as a bare minimum, there is two options. Thank you very much, Rishi, for the interaction. And as I said, okay, let me give you a quick um, the quick links that we have for you to take a look. And let me tell you, everyone, that we have a Discord channel, right? And also we are going to run a hackathon. All of this is explained in the workshop series, right? So here are the links if you want to go to Discord, and if you want to join the hackathon, if that is the case. All right, and let me also get the Luma calendars. Luma is going to allow you to register once and be notified from all of our upcoming events. That is going to allow you to not only participate in this session, but also participate in the upcoming sessions, be notified. So if you want, you can register to the Luma calendar, and that is going to give you the um, notifications, right? The updates. Apologies there for the black screen. In that case, I'm sharing information in the chat. Thank you very much for the suggestion there. As of right now, this is a it is a complex story, the one that we're building with Canon. Right now, what we have in terms of agentic development, which is a harness that is the DEGA core, that is a harness for the AI agents to work into a specific, let's call it like into a specific container, right? To have them safe and secure. And Canon is the view, the application that is viewing and giving you access to the executions of the core plus the strategies, right? So that right now it is open source, right? Thank you very much, Rishi, for the interaction, and welcome everyone from India in this case, right? All right. Keep going. We have then simple mint. I'm not going to be extending that much because we're most likely going to discuss these other three when they be live on our next session on Monday, May 4th. Right. Okay. So simple mint is the decision to mint a pair, right? Yes and no, and then sell both of them, getting a pocket spread. So that is going to take um, some benefit at the time of selling the yes and no compared to what it costs to mint it, right? So at that time, you can call it you're getting opportunity by being a market, a liquidity provided, right? So similar to MM Premium. MM Premium stands for the same action. You're minting and then you're selling it, but this one is dynamic, right? So this is a different strategy in the sense that it's not going to take a flat fee from the mint plus sell, but it's going to make it dynamic based on the market value, right? In fair value, for example, um, fair value is like an analyze. It's of course we're not providing any kind of news or sentiment strategy here, but this is an example for the community to be able to plug in one of those, but we're not providing them. So we're just providing the example of how the code would be implemented, right? In this case, is the the shell, let's call it, right? So you have the automation, you have the reading of the market, you have reading of the values, but then the decision making is being left open, different to the previous that we have talked about, because those are mathematical formulas, right? So we can provide those, but in the fair value, you have to plug in like a decision model that can be, of course, once again, model the model section can be replaced by math if you want to, right? But in this case, it is open for the community to decide if they want to add um, something to it. All right, let's keep going now. Okay, it's time for our live demo. We're going to be running the build of the automation, and it's going to be live. Okay, in case you have questions in terms of the of our we're building, we're going to describe the strategy in natural language. Then we're going to see Canon write the automation, and we had here the idea and intention to do fund the wallet and tweak the patterns and then run it live against the NBA playoff market, but that has we face there a hiccup in sense that Poly market is migrating the wallet connections and all of that. So we're going to have to hold up. We're going to have to hold until Monday session in order to run it completely live. In this case, is still going to be a dry run because we need to do some manual stuff now that Poly market is migrating, right? So we gotta go make some authorizations and we have to pick up a proxy wallet. This is going to be automated, but it's not automated right now because the offerings of the information is not fully available in the SDK. So that is the under the hood functionality, right? But yeah, it's a temporary thing. We're most likely going to fix it for Monday, and this is coming once again. This is coming from Polymarket offering, right? So it's not our call to make this available, but it's most likely going to be fixed soon. But we're going to go live even without them doing so, right? We're going to add some manual steps that are going to be replaced in the future by the automation capability offered by Polymarket, right? So we have that, but we have to work around it. In this case, we're going to run it, we're going to read everything, but we're not going to write or to take action with funds in the blockchain. And as I said, quick summary, it's not on our hands, and we're going to make a workaround, and then we're going to fully automate it, just for you to be aware. All right, so going to the terminal here, let's do a couple checks. First, we know we have uh, cloud, right? Just to make sure that you can see, we have cloud installed here, and that is the agent that we're going to be using. Um, we have core installed as well, and we have Canon installed as well, right? Okay, so let me get a quick hand of the installation command. I'm going to share it here because we want to be super clean about what we're doing right now. So in case you don't have the Canon, I mean the core or Canon installed, you can simply run this natural language request to the agent, and that is going to install it, right? But now that we have it, we're going to open Canon. So we do Canon on our, in this case, it's a new directory, fully empty, that is prepared for this very same example. So here I'm going to start by doing Canon start, which is going to bootstrap a project, right? And we're going to run it. So this is going to initiate the process, right? So yeah, as I said, we're still doing some permissions here, but we're going to be taking the interactions to the minimum in order to have a faster execution. We can see on the right side of the screen the state. It is currently in the init phase, and it is running, right. Then we have on the left side of the screen, we have the agent, which is following the initiation process, right. So you can see, for example, this is like an error, but it is going to still resolve the issue and continue working. And we have the logs here. As I said, they are improved. Now we have a timestamp, and we have most recent on the top, and simple language instead of having complex expressions, right? We can see that the process has generated a wallet. In this case, you could send funds to it, and that is going to allow the execution in Polymarket, right? All right, this was explained in the workshop number 3. That was that this is doing multi-phase. Right now we're selecting a strategy, right? So first it is getting a base for the automation. Then it's going to install the dependencies, generate the wallet, some configurations of the base that are specific for this running automation, right? And now we're selecting a strategy. You can see it here in the plan that is describing where we are right now. So we're selecting a strategy, and we have the options from the ones we discussed on the slides, right? So now we're going to run the trade momentum strategy. As I said, this is natural language, right? It's not a specific. I don't have to input number 5. I don't have to be super specific or do the exact naming convention for it. Yeah, that he's going to understand which one I'm going with. So we have the log here: strategy, trade momentum selected, entry point generated. And from here, we're going to move from selecting the strategy into development. And why would you say development? As I said, the automation, the offering is to build the automation for you, right? So it's going to take a template and make a runnable and executable program from it, right? But you don't have to worry about it. It is going to do it on its own, and there's no need for us to worry about it. So it is even if by some reason, for example, the difference between working on Mac OS and working on Linux, even if it finds some very small issues, there is going to automatically fix them for you. Great to have you, Rishi. In this case, yeah, Canon is specifically for newcomers in terms of no needing the full background of development to be able to create something, right? And right now we're showcasing more of the prediction market automation, but as I said, it is built for development as well. So you can do development with natural language, and it does provide many things around the natural language development. All right, once again, a permission here. Let's go with it. So yeah, it's a beautiful time because no need for a specific or super deep knowledge of the code, the frameworks, and the exact details of it, right? So if you have an idea, you can move forward with it. And what better than using natural language, requesting the help and assistance from the agent themselves. Right, so we can see that we have run everything in terms of creating our own, in this case, I'm calling it project, right? And it, but I'm once again reiterating, there's no need for you to worry about it. It's just going to work. And we can see it did some checking and tests. We have zero errors, zero warnings. We have 537 tests that pass. And now we're on the run phase. Run means that it's no longer building, it's already built, and now it is running. It is reading real values from Polymarket. And in the end, it gives us a summary here. So we have the trend, which is strategies, momentum, trading. Give us a quick explanation there. It does give us the entry band, the target, exit. So we have some configuration room here. Okay. So I said, currently working on dry mode, but we're going to have it ready for Monday. Be able to run it fully live with the bypass of the configurations requirement from Polymarket. Yes, we have the wallet, and it is requesting to send funds prior to switching to the live execution. All right. So at the same time, what do we have on the state? What do we have on the right section of it? We have the logs, as I said, most recent on top, and we can see um, we have run 4 times, no signals, no opportunities, no errors, right? So this is working, and the agent is available to ask questions and continue customizing the strategy. So what are the configurations we can tweak about this strategy, right? I'm asking the agent, what can I do with it? All right, so here we get an explanation of what can be done. We can see a lot of config, right? In this case, this is going deeper into the strategy, right? Um, and of course, if you are making your own strategy, you are making use of the assistance of the AI, but we are in control of what is going to happen, right? yes, it is our funding. So definitely, um, you have to go in and make changes to the strategy, right? Since the ones that are coming in the templates are going to be um, just like a baseline to get started, right? So it's not proven or in the sense of the strategy performance. So you have to make your own tweaks to the decisions that are taking place, right? So, for example, max exposure, you can go higher than 10% if that is your take. Or max concurrent, how many open positions do you want to have at the same time? Once again, if you're going low risk, you can decrease the max exposure to, let's say, 3%, decrease the max concurrency to 1. So that is going to give you the specific for your uh, use case. Okay, so we have also edge and entry gates. So we have a different conflicts, right? Because we have some stuff to take into account, like gas costs, sleep edge, fee rate. So yeah, definitely a lot of room to play around. So once you take the strategy and tweak it, it's going to be yours, and it's not going to behave the same than someone else's strategy. All right, then we have signal detection here. Same minimum period, the minimum volume. Yeah, a lot of configuration available. The ones that I would like to touch on at the start are the easier to understand, so you can get into the strategy and start tweaking it, and knowing that the agent is going to assist you without fully going into the. I mean, you don't have to go into every single um, config and update it in order to get it working. I mean, that's going to be your decision, right? But yeah, you can simply, for example, as the example that I like is the interval, right? So if you're depending on what you're aiming for in the prediction market, it might be a long run item that is not going to be changing every 30 seconds, right? So you could increase that to a higher interval. If you're running something that is very long, that could be checked once every 1 hour, right? Or once every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And all of that is available, as I said, here in the configuration parameters. So let's make a quick one. Let's do stop the automation. So you instruct the agent to stop it, right? You don't have to worry about where it is running is of the complex stuff. So there we get the message that it is stopped right now. So let's do a quick one here. Let's update the pull interval to uh, 66 and max orders to 1. Let's see if we can change something else. Max exposure and max exposure to 20%. So the automation is stopped. We're going to tweak it right here. The agent is going to make the updates for us. So it already identified the locations for it. In this case, this is the max exposure. I'm going to allow it. And yeah, there we have it right here. 3 changes. Max exposure went up, interval went up, and default max orders went down. Right, so this is giving us again a summary, and then let me do the execution again. Run the automation again. As I said, natural language. Of course, to me it sounds weird because I wanted to say like start the automation, but you can use natural language. That's going to work no matter what. So now once again, it does give us the working state of it. We already have the first run, no errors, no opportunities found. We are in the phase run, and we are executing right? So it is that simple. That simple. Communicate with the agent, make your request, see the changes take action, take place, run the automation again. All right, beautiful. So now let me stop the automation because we have done what we needed here. And now let's go back to the slides. All right. So yeah, that was the demo. You can see it live, building generating, and that is absolutely fantastic. Now I wanna go into the hackathon, right? Let me remind you, I posted the link in the live chat. You can also find it in the description. And we're running a hackathon on DoraHack. This is the relevance of the timeline where registration opens on May 4th. That is this coming Monday, and it's going to be open all the way up to May 31st, right? So you have plenty of time to enter the hackathon. The competitions take place from May 4th all the way to June 19th. Right. So what does this mean? You can get started right now on May 4th, and apologies there. You can get started on May 4th, not right now. Um, to participate, right? Of course, running this everything that I have shared is public. You can run the installation command that I share on the live chat, and that is going to work. And you are capable of doing what I just did, getting an automation running. From there, you can start already tweaking your automation. You don't have to wait for Monday. On Monday, you can register, or if by some reason you don't have the opportunity right now, you have until May 31st to register. But if you want and you can get it up and running, you can do it. You can get your automation started today. You can tweak it once we bypass the configuration on Polymarket. Then you can update it and start running from May 4th all the way to June 19th. The hackathon is specific for the NBA playoff, and in the competition is going to end on June 19th, and finally we're going to have the winner announced on June 23rd. All right, we have another question here. Can I develop my own model or strategy in my own data and tools? Not by Canon. Yes, this is, as I said, these are templates, right? These were uh, explained here. These are templates. But when you run the process, let me try to find it here. Yeah, here. Let me share it for you. When you run the automation, you can see right here, we're selecting one of the templates. Templates are a bootstrap, so we reply with run the trade momentum strategy. Trade momentum is a specific strategy, but we also have already researched 18 different strategy types. Not everything is going to be ported or migrated into a template. So you might take advantage of those other examples or your own. Yeah, that's totally fine if you want to make your own. In that case, you have to run on provide a spec, right? So if you provide a spec, that's going to lead Canon into your specific strategy. Definitely, you can bring your own, or you can do discovery. Discovery is going to try to find, as I said, from the other that are not implemented in templates, but you can bring your own and use the provided spec, right? So when we provide a spec, that's a good question, and I will try to see if we can run an entire session based on providing an spec. Thank you for the question, Supreme Motion. But yeah, you can definitely bring your own spec of a strategy with your own data. For example, in the previous demos we have one that is based on oracles, right? For example, you're reading the price in Polymarket and you're reading the prices or the odds in in a provider like the odds, which is an API provider, so you can read data from external sources and use that information to take actions. And yeah, if you want to use something different than the odds, you can do your own. Or if you have a service, an API of yourself, you can definitely bring that up, make the spec, and share it to Canon. Yes, for the hackathon, it is in specific for the MBA. The reasoning for it is in the workshop episode number 1, which is the amount of events that there are. There are many events. It's not a single event, so it's not going to be um, a single opportunity to participate, but um, you can take advantage of the markets on every single game that is being played by the NBA playoff. So right now we are focusing on the NBA, but I will throw you a heads up there. We're going then to be available for the World Cup, right? So we're going to make another. We're going to have another run at the World Cup. So yeah, that is coming up next. Let's go back to the hackathon. All right. So as I said, relevant or key dates: May 4th, May 31st. Competition from May 4th to June 19th, and winner announced on June 23rd. The prize is $1,000 in this case for the first place. And what are we going to be submitting? You have your automation running live, right? And you are going to have to share the source code. Um, as I said, that can be seen on the previous workshop. On workshop number 3, we saw it. You get code generated, right? So I don't put it on the front row because you don't need to have it on the front row, but you get code generated. Let me try to see if we can find it here very quickly. Yeah, let me share it here. Just a quick one here for you to have context. So here we are, right? We stop the automation, but if we go into context, we can go into files. This is the folder that I'm working on. If you recall in the start, I was working on the test trade number 2, and this everything that is here are files generated right now in this session, right? So this was fully empty, and now it is. Um, it does have many stuff, right? So we have the strategy templates, we have the actual build that we made for this run, and configuration, and many other things. So yeah, you have to submit the files, and inside of Canon, we have some information here. For example, execution, we have the runner log and some other stuff, right? So you have to submit this information for the hackathon. Thank you very much, Supreme. Definitely give it a try. You can make your spec, put it into Canon, and have it create your own version of what an automation looks like for you, right? All right. So you're going to be submitting the source code. You're going to have this is the list, right, of what is required for you to submit. So you have to run the automation live. If you don't run it live, is we need it to run live, right? So against the market, so we have the public address available in the blockchain and be able to query it from Polymarket. You're going to upload the source code, and you're going to upload a demo video, right? So you have to have it running just like I did, record the screen and share it The video is not only about the working code, right? But it's your introduction, it's your pitch of the strategy of what you have built, right? So um, that is like your opportunity, any 3 to 5 minute video to make your case for the strategy you built in the usage of Canon. And of course, a short write up of the approach. Remember, this is all available in DoraHack. You have the link in the description down below. All right, so what is next? What can you do after this session, right? In order to keep in contact, keep updated, and be vigilant to participate. I already shared in the chat the Luma calendar, right? Luma does allow you to get be subscribed to our events. So when we set up a new event, like the one that is coming on Monday, you're going to be notified that we're having that event on Monday, right? So you don't have to keep on looking or get lost of the upcoming events. From there, you can also join our Discord. I already shared the Discord link as well. We have a entire channel dedicated to prediction market hackathon. You can go there. Any questions, we are going to be taking them in there. Also, if you just want to go hang, try to find a team to participate, right? Because the hackathon is up to 5 members, so you can go to the Discord channel in order to get into a team. If you don't have the fully availability, or if you want to bring your ideas to the table, but you don't want to do it alone, you can come to Discord and we can help you out find a team. And also, you can right now go register in the hackathon, not your submission to participate, but you can go to register to DoraHack. That is already open. You can go to DoraHack and register to the hackathon. And on May 4, you can start your submissions to participate. All right, so this was the talk, don't code, in a specific session for the usage of Canon. As you saw, most, if not all of it, I think all of it was purely natural language talk between me and the agent, right? Once we run Canon, we did the single entry command, Canon started. From there, it was all natural language. It was a beautiful session. We had it build the foundation, request us the selection of the strategy, then run the strategy against live data. Then we tweak 3 parameters. You saw how easy it is to tweak them. So it's more about getting into the strategy, testing it, and adding your knowledge and decision making into the strategy. It's no complicated about the code itself, right? And yeah, as I said, go register on the Luma calendar. Don't miss up on upcoming events. You can go to the Discord, and you can also take a look at the YouTube DEGA org channel. We have the 5 workshop series there. We are going to have this video live there, and you can get a full picture in case you have missed it in the past. Thank you very much for your time. It has been a pleasure, and hope to see you on Discord and on our Monday session. Thank you very much.